Welcome back to Hidden Secrets in the Attic. Today, we are ready to go forth into another live broadcast, letting you know what's in your attic and what you need to do about it. We are welcoming you, asking you to come on in, share, like. Go in and see what we're doing on SallyChaneyMinistries.com. You can check and see this book, Hidden Secrets in the Attic, is on that particular website as well as on Amazon. Now, as you're coming in, I want to remind you that we are part of God's Royal Network. We have our chief apostle, Dr. PaulaAPrice.com, and she has several broadcasters that come on through the week, including herself. She's on there more than a few times. So you want to support them. You want to be there and look and see what you can learn, grow, understand regarding our biotic gospel that is now being understood a lot better, and to understand who you are and what's going on in your life. We are here to help you. We have prophetic-ed.com, where we also, as broadcasters and those that are advisors and prophets and apostles, are all there on that particular website, prophetic-ed.com. Go and visit and find out things that you need to be a part of. Tell somebody else. You're going to doctors, you're going to uh, people that are actually giving you different conferences and helping you to understand what's going on with your life. These are areas that we touch just about every facet of life. Please go and see what we can do for you. On our Congregation of the Mighty Ecclesial Embassy website, we have a lot going on, but particularly our services or our church services are listed there. You want to find out more about what is God saying to you in this hour? Come visit us at the Congregation of the Mighty. It's a great service on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. for the word. 8 a.m. is for Sunday school. 10 a.m. is for the word of God and for worship and praise. It's awesome. You don't want to miss. We also want you to know that on each of these broadcasts, when these broadcasters come forth, they're going to talk directly to your heart. So support them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes on Friday and Saturday, but particularly on Sunday. Do that for us. All right. Well, I want to tell you that Hidden Secrets in the Attic is really about getting things out of your heart that don't need to be there. That's what we call it. It's called Hidden Secrets in the Heart, really. So please come on and listen to what I have to say today regarding things that are need to be excavated out of your heart and things that are treasures in your heart that you need to put to practice. You will be never the same by just doing what God told you to do. I found out a long time ago that there are so many secrets that we've kept of what people did to us, what they said to us, how they treated us, how they wouldn't treat us, how they left us for dead. All of these things have caused some damage in the heart that God wants to heal. So we're going down every week to pull out some of those things that God doesn't like that are there, that He's saying they're sitting over in the corner of the attic and they have dust on them, and you've been just ignoring them for 30, 50, 100 years. But now I want to pluck them up. I want to get them at the root of where they came in, and I want them to no longer be a part of your life. I realize I've had to do it with my own personal life. So I'm telling you today, how about joining me? Let's go down in that attic and see if there's something that's been hiding out that needs to get out, or something that's been hiding out that needs to be in your life. All right. Can we do that this morning? As you're doing that and you're sharing, I want you to know I appreciate you. I appreciate your giving into Hidden Secrets. I appreciate you supporting all of the broadcasts. Go back and re-listen to them sometime. You're going to find out, wow, I missed that. I didn't get that. I need that. I need to change that. You're going to do that, and that's going to be healthy for you. All right. So as we get started today, talk about this hidden secret in the attic that God has showed us that needs to be dealt with or brought up. Let's just understand. We talk about frustrations, secret frustrations. We need to release the grip of it. All of those things that are going on that have got us just screaming or doing like the young man on the picture, just putting his hand through the computer because it's been in there so long and now it's just frustrating. It's causing us to just lose it. That's not God. You got to get that grip off of you where you're doing that particular work in your life. Don't hurt yourself like that anymore. It's worth, you know, frustrates. I was thinking this afternoon as I was preparing for this broadcast. I thought about the fact that secret frustrations have to be told. You can't frustrate me anymore. Okay. You can't do it. We're all blessed in some area of our life. We're blessed with good health. We're blessed with good families, good jobs. But then just having one thing that's not right, that one temptation that we can't seem to overcome, that one thing in our relationship that's not fulfilling, or maybe that one nagging health issue. Nobody, nobody can see it but you. But on the outside, we seem fine. But on the inside, we're frustrated, just frustrated with how people talk and the way people act and what's going on in life and how things are always hard. I know someone that's been believing for a baby. They've been believing for it for several years now. They're just like, oh, it's not happening. They have had prayer by people. You're going to have a baby. Don't you worry. It's coming. And ever so often during the services that we've had, others have prayed for that same situation. And the next year, they got a child, like no time. In time, they bring their babies to church and they're so happy. But this couple sees their prayers being answered, but theirs hasn't been manifested. So the wife, who is always on top of the world, is always friendly, she's cute, she has a great husband. But what you can't see is this secret frustration that no one else can really understand but them. Okay. Life is so full of contradiction, people of God. You're helping other people get well, but you don't feel that you're getting well. Your coworkers are being promoted, but you're working just as hard as they are, producing just as much, but nobody notices you. If you're really honest, we all have these kind of secret frustrations going on, things that we know God could change. We know He's a big God. We know He could open the door. He could remove this thing. He could give us that baby we've been dreaming about. But it's just not happening. This hasn't totally come into fruition. We have to realize God is still a sovereign God. He always will be. We're not going to understand why everything doesn't happen just like that. Like, wow, what is going on? There are some things that God doesn't just remove like right away. Some situations He waits a long time before you see the change. But you have to be where you trust that He knows what's best for you. He knows the timing. He knows what He's got to work out of you. He knows those things that you have been just complaining about, but you're still not through getting over it. Okay. Everything's not changing. What He's not removing, if you will keep a right attitude going on inside of you, it won't work against you. It's going to work for you. Don't just let the contradictions of life cause you to be angry and just give up on your dreams forever and ever. You know, the Apostle Paul wrote over half the New Testament, and he came from a very influential family who was highly educated and used him in incredible ways, God did. But as effective as Paul was, he had this secret frustration going on. Oh, yes, he did. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and 7, he calls it a thorn of the flesh. How many of you have some of those going on? Those are secret frustrations. It's like this thing has been here a long time. I thought it would be gone by now. What in the world? But whatever his throne was, whatever was bothering Paul, he asked God 3 times to please get it out. Please don't let this keep going on like this, God. Please take it away. God heard him, but he did not remove it. One version says he implored God to take it away. That means he gave it the best argument he could. God, come on, let's think about this. We got to get this out of here. But you know I'm doing my best. You know I'm serving you. You know I'm writing all these books in the Bible. The least you could do for me is heal me. I implore you. If anybody had the pull with God, it would have been Paul. Yeah, he had it. But what's interesting is God didn't remove the thorn. He didn't remove the secret frustration. He said 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and 9. Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, man. Hey, young man, it's all right. My power shows up best in your weakness. I'm going to ask you all this afternoon. Is there something you've been imploring God to change? A situation in your health, your finances, a relationship that you have? You've asked Him again and again and again, and nothing's improving. I'm not saying to give up and just settle right there. What I'm saying is until God removes it, mm, don't let it steal your joy. Don't let it steal your peace. You still have the grace that you need in what you're going through. The right attitude is I'm not going to let the secret frustration, this thing, this a thorn in my flesh, so to speak, frustrate me anymore. I'm through with it. I believe your grace is sufficient, God. I know at the right time, at the right place, everything's going to be all right. But even if you don't change it on this side of earth, even if I'm still going to be my best and keep on honoring you, God, get your glory. You have to make up your mind. If your spouse never, never, never changes, if your health never, never, never improves, if you have to put up with that grouchy boss the rest of your life, you are not going to be living your life complaining. You are not going to use it as an excuse to just slack off. You're going to tap into that grace because it's efficient. It's sufficient. It's sufficient for you. Here's the key. Don't stay focused on the frustration. Get off of it. Paul would have gone around thinking, God, you won't move his thorn. Oh, God, why don't you want to move it, Jesus? I've had it and I'm doing everything you told me to do. Why won't you change my child, Lord? My child is not acting right. Please, God. Why won't you give me a business that's flourishing, God? I need it to grow. If he would have stayed focused on the whys of life, he would have never fulfilled what God gave him to do in his destiny. Faith is trusting God when things don't even make sense anymore. That's what faith is. If you're going to reach your highest potential that God has placed in you, you cannot be a weakling. You have to be a warrior. All right? There will be times that you're not going to understand. Things are not going to make sense. But God knows what He is doing. And you have to make a declaration of yourself. His ways are better than my ways. He's the potter and I'm the clay. He knows what He's doing with me on the wheel. When it's time to be removed, that thing that's going on, that secret frustration, God knows what to do to remove it. He knows when to let that baby come forth. He knows when to give you that job that you've been believing for 82 years. But you have to keep on digging your heels right back in there and fighting that good fight of faith that God told you to fight. You have the grace you need for every situation that you're still enduring right now. So are you waiting for God to remove something before you can be happy? That's not working for God. You can't be sitting there going, well, I'll be happy in the sweet by and by. It's coming, I'll be happy. Are you waiting for God to remove something, excuse me, before you can pursue that dream that He told you to do? Uh-uh. Hold up right now. Or before you can finish school, God, just remove all the teachers and remove all this and remove all the hard tests. And nah, if God hasn't removed it, it's not an accident. You don't have to put your life on hold because you have a secret frustration. I'm frustrated that it's taking too long. I'm frustrated that I didn't get what I wanted, but they got what they wanted. I'm frustrated because it's just so hard. I mean, this is harder than what I ever thought it would ever, 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 ever be, God. You have everything you need right now to fulfill your destiny. And the scripture talks about how we have treasure in these earthly vessels. We have treasure in these earthly vessels. All of us have those imperfections in these clay vessels. In other words, there's probably at least one thing that God is not removing that we could easily be irritated by and live frustrated by. Okay? Whatever your thorn is, God is saying to you right now, like He said to Paul, my grace is sufficient. It's going to be all right. Keep on pressing. My grace is sufficient. It's going to be all right. Don't stop fighting. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. It's going to be all right. Don't let the devil steal any more of your joy and your peace. Don't let it happen. Tell him, not on my watch. When it's time to be removed, God is going to remove it. When it's time to be removed, God is going to remove it. Until that time comes, tap into grace. Come on. Tap, 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 tap. Tap into grace, which is more than sufficient for you. Here's a key. If God is not removing it, it is not an accident. There is a reason for it. Paul thought the thorn in his flesh was going to keep him from being puffed up and not too proud. That's why God did it. Maybe that was true. Okay. But that secret frustration may just be a time of testing. All right. Just kind of see it like that right now. Ah, that frustration was the time of testing. What was I thinking? I was trying to think if it was just going to be something I need to rebuke the devil for. No, it was a time of testing where you have to go ahead and just let it be known to God that you're going to be content and you're going to do your best, even though it's not going away like you thought it would, like quick. I've had secret frustrations in my life because I thought, well, I thought I'd be just totally 100% jumping up and down by now. What's going on here? God has been testing Apostle Sally Cheney that he wants to prove through this vessel that I've learned to be content if it takes a little bit longer. I still say the word is true. I still believe that the word said that it's done, it is done. And when he says, by his stripes I'm healed, I'm healed. When he says that I am full of wealth and that I will always be blessed, I take it right then, whether I see the full manifestation of it or not. Now, when it's going on, there are times that I'm thinking, God, I've been quoting this and I'm believing this, but is it going to be much longer? Can we talk about letting it up some or letting it be? Okay, those types of things come. I'm tested in that way. And then the frustration of it is, wow, I've been asking of that for 20 years, but it's still kind of at that even tempo. All right. You have to know that sometimes that time of testing is going to come. You said you'd believe. You said that you would trust me. You said I won't leave you, or you wouldn't leave me or forsake me. So therefore, it's still going on, God. But I know that I know you are God that will not lie. You're going to keep giving even though you're not receiving. Come on, I've been there. I've been there. You're going to keep honoring even though you're not seeing things change. Helping people, loving people, encouraging people, telling them that you're the best and they're going higher than I am. God could be using that to grow us up and develop all of our character where it needs to be. We can all trust God in good times. But here's the big question. That's an easy place to trust him in the good times. But when God starts letting some of those things that you're going through take a little bit longer, and he doesn't give you everything you thought you would have by yesterday or last year, can you trust him in the rough times? I'm asking you, can you trust him with the secret frustrations that sometimes come up against you? The things that are not changing as fast as what you thought. I just knew I'd be running around and taking laps by now. You prayed and you believed, and you prayed and you believed, but it's not gone. That same challenge is still meeting me head on every day. And that same person is still treating me wrong. And that same person is saying things behind my back. And what? The question is not only can you trust God, but more importantly, while you're going through the storms and all of the heartaches and whatever you're going through, can God trust you? Can he, with your secret frustrated self, trust you to not just throw him away or put him on the curb or come back and get him next week? Will you pass the test? Will you stay in faith even when you don't understand why it's taking so long? I was praying for that child 22 years ago, God. What happened here? I actually prayed for a child for almost 20 years because I had my first one when I was very, very young. And then when I got married, before I got married, I said, God, I just believe that one day I'll be able to have another child and God, it's going to be all right. And it took 21 years before I had another child. I had to stay in faith. I had to pass the test. I had to be comfortable, even though it was rough, not seeing it. There's times when I thought, God, I know I have more in me. This is Apostle Sally talking directly to you all. I have said it. God, I know there's got to be. There's things in me that I know that they're there, but it's just not manifesting. I'm being my best. I'm honoring you and others, but nothing seems like it's really, really changing. I'm not really seeing the growth that I know I'm supposed to have. It was what I called my secret frustration. But what I didn't realize is something really was changing. The time that it was taken for to bring that change about was what I'd been frustrated with. But inside of me, I was growing up. Inside of me, I was maturing. Inside of me, I was becoming what I never thought I could ever be. I was changing because God was developing me in the time that it took to be changed. My character was different. I was making a statement to God that I would be faithful in the tough times. I made that statement more than once, and I still make that statement. God, I'll hold on no matter what. And yet will I trust you, God. And yet will I love you, God. And yet will I see the goodness of the Lord while I'm living in this land, God. And yet will I be the best of the best, and things are going to come in order in my life, God. What I'm saying may not look like anything's happening on the outside. But if you will keep being your best, being your best, something is going to happen on the inside. God is going to change you. He's going to grow you up. He's going to get you prepared for what he really wanted you to do. He already said it 22 years ago, but he's getting you prepared to really be the best of the best. Not keep doing the right thing, that may not be what's all he's looking for. He's trying to see if you'll think right, if you'll talk right, if you'll act like he told you to act. Okay, not just going. I'm gonna help you today. No, how will you react if when you help somebody today they don't want to help you back? Keep being good to other people. Keep having the spirit of excellence instead of just bowing your head down and saying this is too hard. No, keep on keeping on, no matter what you're going through. There will be times that you can be frustrated, things you don't understand, they're not coming together in your mind, things that God has been removing. Why would He remove that? You have to make up your mind that you're not going to let it take you out in life. Do what you can and trust God to do what you really can't do. Let Him do it. So the right attitude is if this never happens to me, if this never changes, if I never have that baby, I'm still going to be happy. If my marriage gets rougher than rough, I'm still not going to be angry and upset. If I see something that is, or somebody out there that's more talented, more beautiful, has more, I'm not going to be envious. I'm not going to be jealous. That's not going to happen. I'm going to be at peace with who I am. One day, after you've done what he told you to do and just begin to bear it and deal with it and keep on smiling and keep on going, God's going to remove that barrenness, the barrenness of you not having a baby, the barrenness of you not being able to have enough money, the barrenness of not being able to be promoted. That secret frustration in your life is going to be taken. It's going to go, boop, it's gone. I love the fact that even though God does not always allow us to see every challenge that's in our body to actually be naturally removed, that headache, that blood pressure, that disease, whatever, we can't be bitter or frustrated. Okay, whatever secret frustration that we're facing, we have to make the decision that even if it doesn't manifest on this side of our life, we are going to keep on believing to the end. We're going to keep on going forth, and we're not going to die in fear. We're going to die in faith. We're going to leave here in faith. That's what he's wanting more than anything. Turn it all around. I'm going to give you praise. And if you don't turn it all around, God, I'm still going to give you praise. When you live like that every single day, live like that, live like that. All the forces of hell can't stop us. Don't let those secret frustrations keep you from getting where God told you to go. You have the grace that you need for every secret frustration that's going on. If God is not removing whatever that thorn might be, whatever that frustration might be, don't get frustrated trying to figure it out. You just got to trust Him. Release the grip of that secret frustration. Come on, right now, release it. Get it up off of you. God, it didn't happen at the time I wanted it to. God, it's taken too long. God, what if? What if? What if? What if? God, why did they have it and I can't have it? Why didn't I get healed like they got healed? Why didn't I? You were already healed. The manifestation, if it's not happening the way you thought it would, you got to know His grace is sufficient. He sure will keep you. I've been ill sometimes and just so ill that I thought, how could somebody live through this? But in it, I lived through it. And in it, I learned from it. And in it, I grew up some more through it. And in it, I got rid of a lot of craziness that was in me that God didn't want me to carry. Okay? His grace was sufficient. I'm still here. You're still here. So I'm going to tell you again, release the grip of your secret frustrations. Come on, release it. Let it go. Tell it, you got to get up out of here. It's not going to right. It's not going to be right for God, and it's sure not going to be right for me. Take this word today, put it in your heart, share it with somebody, let somebody know that frustration you have going on. God's working through it. He's working through it, and He's going to make you better in it. Don't let it stay in your attic, hidden. Deal with it. Know that sometimes you just got to still know, yet will I trust you, God, no matter what's going on. I won't use it for the bad. I'm going to let you turn it around in me for the good. In Jesus' name. God bless you all. Thank you for joining in on Hidden Secrets today. Share, 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 and let somebody know that they can get rid of those things that they're addict and all of their addicts and become who God called them to be by doing it God's way. Not your way, but God's way. God bless, and I'll see you next week.